Doing some financial goals, making some financial plans. Okay guys, we are doing another follow-up video on my 2020 goals. We are over halfway through the year now. This year has been a show, but we are still getting after our financial goals, and I wanted to give you an update 6 months into it, how we're doing. Hey, what's up guys? It's Justine with Debt Free Millennials, the channel to help you crush your debt and live payment free. If you want to get out of debt, if you want to continue living a debt-free life, this is the channel where you need to be. So go ahead and click that subscribe button. This is a follow-up video from the 2020 financial goals collab I did with Brad from the Fin Mindset and Kelly with Freedom in a Budget. So be sure to check out their videos and go subscribe to their channels because they're fellow millennials and they're getting after their finances too. I want to go back into my notes from the original goals Kyle and I had set for our finances this year, what we updated it to 3 months later, and now what we're doing. Let's hop into it. Okay, so our first set of financial goals was to max out Kyle's thrift savings plan. This is his retirement plan with his employer, which check, we've done. We also put more money towards our Jeep Wrangler fund. The Jeep is our debt-free dream car, so we're actively planning for that. We put more money into it. And then we also wanted to increase our down payment amount and hit a savings goal of $85,000 by the end of 2020. So after 3 months was up, I went back and took a look, and we were actually hitting a lot of our goals, surprisingly or unsurprisingly. I don't know, we're both really good at saving. I think I underestimate how well we can save sometimes. And it's crazy because we live in a very expensive city. So we know how to, I think of Ramit Sethi every time I think about this, because he says, spend lavishly on the things that you love and cut mercilessly on the things that you don't. And I think we've really applied that mentality to our financial goals. So our updated financial goals were to max out our health savings account, and that was really for Kyle to figure out. Since we have his health insurance, I'm on his health insurance, we wanted to figure out how to max out that health savings account. And what's great about health savings accounts is that the money that you put into it and that your employer puts into it stays with you for life. Even if you were to leave that employer, your health savings account goes with you, which I love. So we were able to max that out and then also put more money towards the Jeep Wrangler fund. Initially, we wanted to save $12,000 in 2020 towards the Wrangler, and we are still on track to do that. I have a few adjustments to make, and I'll talk about that here in a second. Then our last financial goal was to increase our down payment amount, and I had increased it to hit a savings goal of $100,000 by the end of 2020, and we did that too. We did that too. I can't believe 6 months into this year and we're already surpassed that. This is crazy. Okay, before I hop into the down payment stuff, let me go back to the health savings account. All right, so the health savings account, we figured out that Kyle needed to contribute $270 per paycheck or $540 per month towards that HSA. Okay, the money that you put into a health savings account is tax deductible. Plus your earnings on that money are tax-free, and then when you go to actually use the money, you're not taxed on that money either when you use it for qualifying medical expenses. I also just found out, this is huge. Ladies, listen up. All of the feminine hygiene products, tampons, pads, everything, are now eligible medical expenses to use your health savings account for. Okay, so the feminine hygiene products, the tampons and pads, are covered through the CARES Act for the rest of the year. I haven't found out whether or not that is going to continue after the CARES Act is over or after 2020. But for now, if you have a health savings account, don't forget to use your card for this type of expense. That's a really big blessing, and I think that these types of products should be included as qualifying expenses because it is something that happens and that as women, we are going to continue to purchase and we need to use those products, and it would be great to use a health savings account to cover those expenses. Okay, so got on a tangent there. Back to our contribution. So Kyle is doing $540 per month of his pre-tax contributions into the HSA. Now his employer is only contributing $133 per month towards that HSA, but still $133 that they're giving to us to help pay for our medical expenses is awesome. So our max contribution limit for 2020 is $7,100 for a family contribution. So we can only contribute up to $7,100. That's why we took that amount and divided it by his number of paychecks and got the 270 number. So does that make sense? That way we are contributing up to that limit and not a penny more so that we don't get penalized for that. Number 2, the Jeep Wrangler. So we want to save an additional $12,000 this year. Current amount saved is $14,199. The amount that we've contributed since January is $6,300. So we are pretty much halfway there already, and the interest that we are earning in that high yield savings account with Ally is around $73. So I looked this up because I was like, what kind of Jeep can I buy with 14 grand? And basically I'm down to I'm now moved up into the early 2000s Jeep Wrangler with the soft top, 2 doors. I actually found this really cute one in Beverly Hills, but we're gonna keep going because I am a very patient person and we know what type of Wrangler that we want. 4-door, hard top. It's going to happen. And we are doing some good things with saving for the Wrangler. One thing that I noticed that we need to adjust in our budget. We have been setting aside $750 per month to go over to our Ally Jeep Wrangler savings account. And knowing that I still have 5 months left of contributions, I actually need to save more than $750 for the rest of the year. It's closer to about $1,200 is what I need to save in order to hit that $12,000 goal amount. I think we can absolutely make that happen, so just making some adjustments and tweaks to our budget is going to help us get there. By the way, if you want to check out all of our numbers with our income and expenses, be sure to watch our latest Beers and Budgeting episodes. They tell you everything. We don't hide anything. And we'll talk about the Jeep Wrangler in those episodes. Okay, last but not least, our biggest goal. Increase our down payment amount. So initially we had a savings goal of $85,000. Then I increased it to $100,000. The current amount that we have saved, $106,000. This is crazy because this time 3 months ago, we only had, I think, $72,000. So you're probably wondering, good God, how did they save that much in that little amount of time? So the amount that we've contributed since January is $31,288. Now, one big culprit that was able to get us up over the $100,000 mark is that I used to have another business besides Debt-Free Millennials, and I was an independent marketing consultant. I still had that business account opened, and there was about $8,000 in that business account. Well, now that I've decided to completely dissolve that business, I'm no longer going to be doing that independent marketing consulting gig. Then Kyle and I had a conversation what do we do with this extra money? What can we use it for? So I ended up taking that money, closing the business account, and moving it all into our savings account for our down payment. So that was one way that we really got to boost that amount up. Also, we were really cognizant of finding ways to build in to our budget a bigger down payment amount. So I looked at our budget, we moved things around, we're not traveling anymore, so our vacation fund, that amount that we saved towards it has dropped tremendously. And so instead of putting $750 towards the vacation, I lowered it to $250, put that extra $500 towards the down payment. I put extra fund money towards the down payment. I found ways to make our budget accommodate the down payment the most. That is the sole focus. If you guys saw my how to save for multiple purchases at the same time, that video, you will know that prioritizing your goals is essential to actually achieving those goals. So while I think you can absolutely save for everything, you have to prioritize one and put the bulk of your savings towards that goal, or the bulk of your money towards that debt. Yes, this is good. Okay, so the interest earned in my high yield savings account so far year to date is $301. Another thing that got us over the 100K hump was my investment returns. So I still do have a portion of this money with Vanguard in a brokerage account, primarily invested in bond index funds, which are a much more conservative fund to put money for a down payment like this in. But I think the wise decision here would be to sell those funds and then keep the liquid cash. But I want to talk to a mortgage lender or a real estate agent, because I know if you move a bunch of money, large sums of money, right before you go to purchase a home, I don't think it looks good to the lender. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm trying to decide on how to do that. The investment returns that we've made on that account so far is $4,824, which is amazing to know that you're getting that kind of return. To use that money towards a down payment is huge. Okay, so that's the halfway mark on our 2020 financial goals. I think it's super important to follow up on those goals throughout the year, and it's okay to change them. We've changed ours because we saw that we were able to hit some of these things more realistically. If you are still in debt, I believe that your primary financial goal should be to knock out that debt as quickly as you can. So that means prioritizing your money towards that debt first. You can also save for other things like vacation or a wedding or a down payment on the side. I absolutely saved for vacations while I was on my debt-free journey, and I think you can do the exact same thing. Comment below on what your thoughts are so far about these financial goals. Maybe your own story with your financial goals this year. I'm sure a lot has changed over the past 6 months. I mean, our world has just gone through the ringer lately. But if you're able to, and you still can go after these financial goals, keep at it, guys. Keep at it. Now is the time to continue that grind. Don't forget, if you want more tips on how to crush your debt and live payment free, be sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in another video.